Hey guys, I'm Natalia and I'm the young adult librarian at the Temple Terrace Library. I'm excited for everybody to join us tonight, whether you're at home watching this later on or time traveling into the future. Yay. I'm going crazy. This program is a unique collaboration between the USF School of Information and the Temple Terrace Library. I've just got a couple of rules for everybody who's watching. Please be respectful and courteous to one another. Every feeling you have is valid. Just know that we're here for you. Participate however you feel comfortable, whether it's talking to someone next to you, writing down what you're thinking, reaching out to us in any way you want. Just if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us. So I'll throw it to Kiara.
Hi, everyone. My name's Kiara. I'm the social work intern working with this wonderful team of librarians here at Story Strong. I'm here today to help facilitate the discussion of the books. And I'm also here if you need resources, support, or advice for any needs you may have. Please feel free to reach out to us at storystrong@usf.edu for any questions or concerns you might have. We'd love to help you. Reach out anytime and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And thank you for joining us. And I'm going to also introduce our other social worker, Ashley.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I'm another social work intern from USF. I'm here working at Story Strong this semester, and I'm going to hand it over to Erin to start the session.
Hi, I'm Erin. I am a student at USF and a graduate assistant working with the Story Strong group alongside the Temple Terrace Library for this session.
All right, I'll take it. So for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about relationships with, romantic relationships, friendships. This week, we're going to be focusing on friendships. So yeah, everything that occurs from middle school, high school, from the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the things we're just totally just going to forget about, because that always happens. You're like, oh, that was so great. Nope, that's going to stay down here. And I'll throw it back to Erin, and we'll start with in real life.
All right, so as Natalia mentioned, our first book we're going to be talking about is the graphic novel In Real Life. So this book is about Anda, who loves Course Gold Online, which is a massive multiplayer role-playing game that she spends most of her free time on. It's a place where she can be a leader, a fighter, and a hero. It's a place where she can meet people from all over the world and make friends. Gaming is, for Anda, entirely a good thing. But things become a lot more complicated when Anda befriends a gold farmer who's a poor Chinese kid whose avatar in the game illegally collects valuable objects and then sells them to players from developed countries with money to burn. This behavior is strictly against the rules in Course Gold, but Anda soon comes to realize that questions of right and wrong are a lot less straightforward when a real person's livelihood is at stake. So our question about this book is, since Anda has just moved to a new school and has very few friends, she finds comfort in this online community of gamers. Do you think virtual or online friendships can be just as strong as in-person ones? Why or why not? Have you ever been in a situation where a friend has done something you don't agree is right? How did you deal with that? So it's kind of a two-part question.
I know, that's so hard. First one, 100% yes. I have met a couple of my friends that I have known for 10 plus years online, and they are so cool. They are just as weird and awkward as I am, and it makes it great. I don't know if I've had, is it like if I had a virtual friend or an in-person friend who did something I didn't agree with?
I think
or is it like either or? I'll come back. I gotta think about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think as well that online friends can be just as real as in-person friends. I mean, like, for instance, if social media wasn't a thing when I was growing up, especially, I wouldn't have any friends. Like, I talked to everyone online first, or I texted them or whatever. And that's honestly, that's like just including like local ones, but I've definitely made friends online through different websites. And I also think like I've definitely dealt with like situations where my friends have done something that I don't agree with, like stealing, you know, from like a store. Like I remember like I went to Target with an old friend when I was like 13. And then when we left, she was like, "Oh, I took this." And I was like I kind of freaked out, you know.
Now you're an
obviously-
accomplice.
Yeah, I know.
Ah.
No, so and like I've never done that. And so like dealing with that is always kind of hard because you don't want to seem like uncool, you know, so to
Oh,
speak,
yeah.
but you also really, really don't want to participate in it.
Yeah. That is
Yeah.
true.
I
That's
have
cool.
when I was younger, I know I used to be more online and like talking to people. And then like I went through a period where like I stopped talking online and now I'm recently back up on it again. And like it's really interesting because like I meet people in different countries. So I feel like it's just like
Mhm.
exposure right there. And I don't know, it just like kind of seems more fun to meet people online. So yeah, it can totally be a stronger connection. Cause like look at Natalia, she's like, I flew out to the UK, right? Or something like that.
Yes.
Like, it's
That was so much fun. I stay with my friend and her family.
right. So I feel like as long as like, you know, you take the necessary precautions, and,
Yeah.
like, you know, you're being safe. And I think it can be like a
Absolutely.
really true connection with someone.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, me and my friend, we video chatted. Her parents met my parents online. We met each other in person. Her and her family flew down to Florida, and we all went to Islands of Adventure. Very neutral
Ooh.
ground.
Yeah.
So everybody
Yeah,
can
public
meet.
space.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then it was like, all right, let's I want to go to England. Can I stay with you?
Ooh, yeah, right. That's so
And
cool.
yeah, it's fun. I mean, I've had I don't know if Neopets is ever a thing anymore.
I remember. I think I remember.
Yes.
I can't get in. I lost my password.
Me too.
Oh man.
So
Yeah.
it could still be there, but I can't
Right?
access it anymore.
That I agree with that. I made one of my best friends on there. I still talk to her too.
That's so cool.
Oh,
And I
that's
heard,
I love
I
that.
know, right? I heard Neopets is supposed to be creating an app for your phone.
I'm
Oh, okay.
totally waiting.
I want it so bad.
We'll have to bite the bullet and make a new account though.
I know, right?
Right. Yeah. Let's just all have a Neopets little circle
I
here.
love that. Let's do that.
Yes,
Let's do
I'm
it,
all
guys.
for it. 100%.
Right. In terms of like friends or something I want to do, I feel like that happens to me commonly because like especially like high school, I don't know, something just flips and everybody wants to do like illegal substances and this and that. And I'm like, I'm okay. So I feel like
Yeah.
I kind of just introverted more because of that. I was like, I kind of felt like I was switching crowds because of that.
Yeah, and I definitely think like in my example, I remember like pulling away from my friend who was like stealing. It was like little things, you know. But that was like I'm an accomplice, like you said. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
be part of it.
Right.
Mhm.
And I definitely remember like pulling away. But also I think like I don't know. I think that there's sometimes like a balance.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't necessarily have to pull away from them completely, like unless they're like
Yeah.
really pressuring you to like
Yeah.
do the thing that you think is wrong, you know. But
Kind of
it's always
like
hard.
limiting your
Yeah.
exposure
Yeah.
with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like you don't want to like if you don't want if I don't know, like if they're all doing drugs or something,
Oh yeah. God.
and then like well then
Right.
don't hang out with them at those times, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like make it your actual school buddy.
No,
If
right.
you see
I
them at
just-
school, you just don't see them outside.
Right.
Yeah. I was recently like saying something about like, well, you know, learning the difference of, you know, maybe don't cut them off completely, but finding the time and the place and the context for that person. You know, they're still
Yeah.
deserving of like loyalty and friendship, but maybe, you know, I'm not going to run to Target with you anymore, you know, like,
Oh God, yeah.
maybe we're not going to meet up at the park anymore, you know, but
Oh, Target is
boundaries, what comes
Target's
to mind,
dangerous.
you know, learning good boundaries.
Mhm.
I think that's really important in those kinds of situations because I feel like like even now, you know, I might like if I had a friend who was like doing something I didn't agree with, like because it's always hard to know what to do, you know, because it's a friend. Like you want to be on like good terms with your friend, but those boundaries are so important.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh man. Thinking about high school now.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, man. All right. How about we hit question number 2? All right. Anda has started profiting from her ventures in coarse gold by eliminating gold farmers. When Anda's mom learns that so hard. Anda has been interacting with people online that she does not know and accepting payments from strangers in the coarse gold game. She takes away all of Anda's online privileges. When Anda insists to her mom doesn't understand, her mom says, I understand the world can be a cruel place and there are people out there counting on naive kids like you to take advantage of. Interacting with people we have never met online is becoming increasingly more popular, but it's also very easy to pretend to be someone. Do you approach online relationships differently than in-person relationships? How and why? Has anyone online ever made you or a friend uncomfortable? What happened and what did you or your friend do about it?
So I feel like online friendships have definitely like how people feel about them has definitely changed over the past like 20 years. So like, okay, so when I was in middle school, like all of you, I spent my youth on the Dashboard Confessional forums, posting emo poetry.
I never did that. I missed out on things.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm finding out. Oh, man. Wait.
So, and that was in like 2005, 2006. And I had online friends on that website, you know, like people who would like, cause we'd like send poetry back and forth and we'd like comment on each other's poetry. And like, I remember I had one person who like called me their poetry buddy. So I had like a poetry buddy. And then I remember like my mom and my stepdad found out and they were so upset because they kind of had the same feeling as Anda's mom because they were like, you don't know these people, like they could just be taking advantage of you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but they're not making me feel uncomfortable. Like we're not really talking about these like personal details, you know, like I know that like they live in Argentina and they know that I live in the United States, but that's kind of how as far as it goes. But then at the same time, like I understand where my parents were coming from too, because like, especially then where this was like a new thing, like, and their kid was like online talking to these people from Argentina, allegedly. And so I don't know. I guess I have like mixed feelings about that because it's like I was that kid, but now I'm like an adult and I'm like, okay, I kind of see your point, but I mean, if they're not making you uncomfortable, they're not making you share intimate details. It doesn't seem like too much of an issue.
Right.
Was it just me or did it ever feel like, and this was definitely when I did the role play boards on Neopets and it felt like it was dreamlike. Like, oh, I'm just like talking to somebody like, yeah, sure. But now I'm like, yeah, no, I was talking to, I don't know who.
Yeah, I was talking to a real person. Yeah, I definitely think that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
But I'm like also being online is like a good way to a lot of times like socialize and kind of like, you know, kind of like learn how to socialize and like better talk to people. And so I don't know. There's some good and there's some bad with it for sure.
Yeah.
It was definitely because it was new at the time. And I'm wondering how the impersonation factor was then versus now. Like, did people realize now or back then, you know, how easy it was to just do this? Or is it now that it's like kind of insane?
Well, so now we have like kind of like a world of like professional catfish, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Like,
is
it's actually, like,
insane.
things like
True.
that have like become so well known. But
Right.
then at the same time, like I don't know. This is like me admitting to something, but I used to go on chat rooms with my friends in middle school and like pretend to be like an old grandma, you know, like just and like so like technically like I was lying about who I was, you know. I don't know if that's bad or if that's harmful, but it's definitely something I did pretty regularly throughout middle school.
Oh, like signing up for sites and saying, yes, I am this age.
Yeah, I would be like,
Don't do that, guys.
Small things like that, yeah.
Do not recommend. Do not do these things.
Don't
Wait
do
till you're,
this.
like, actual age.
Don't do these things.
Don't
As
do
a matter
that.
of fact, I will put a resource document for you all about internet safety that we were talking about. And
Avoid
things
chat
just-
rooms.
yeah.
Are chat rooms even a thing anymore?
Probably. I mean, I watch a lot of true crime documentaries, so yes.
Oh,
Me
okay.
too. They're my
Yeah.
favorite.
Well, be careful around chat rooms, everyone.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
practice internet safety.
It's crazy because like in middle school, I used to like I had a friend that was like on Omegle, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh,
And we find
yes.
like random people on there. And the guys were always just like weird and creepy. Just stay away. Just stay away.
Yeah, that was when that one and oh, there was another one that was really similar to that. I don't remember what it was called, but that was something that like me and my high school best friend went on like one time, and then we were like, oh, never again, never
Yeah,
again.
it's so creepy. I was
Was
like,
it-
you want the thrill, but then it's just not safe at all.
Was
It's
that
not
the
worth
one?
that.
Was that the one where you did with? Oh, it was like you were video camming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chat
okay.
and video.
Yeah, yes, I
Chat roulette
remember.
is the one that I was thinking of.
I remember doing that once. I
Yeah,
was
But
like,
then
this is
also like
stranger danger.
yeah,
over
very much stranger danger.
very much.
Anyway,
In the fall, I like went on Tumblr. So I was like,
Oh, God.
ooh. And I've witnessed an entire scam.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa.
So be careful.
yeah.
Very careful. They were pretending to be like not even they were pretending to be from like Mexico, being a bounty hunter. It
All
was a
right.
lot. It was a
Oh my
lot. They pretended to die
They pretended to die?
from COVID. I was like, this is not the time to be doing that.
What?
Be
Yeah.
careful who you talk to.
Be careful.
Also, be
careful.
really aware of scams. I like get scam emails like all the time.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta really think about it.
Mhm.
It's really unlikely that a deposed prince is emailing you asking for money. So you just gotta
Yeah, sorry. Not running you no
Don't-
millions.
don't give people money if they're trying to scam you or if it seems like they're trying to scam you even a little
Yes.
bit.
Do not give
Don't-
out personal private
Yes.
information. No addresses, no full names, no school addresses.
No phone
No.
numbers on.
No phone
No,
number,
You know.
no, don't do it.
credit card info. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Mm-mm. Not your parents' credit card info either.
Just don't do that. That's really bad, guys.
That's so true. Oh my god.
Right.
Oh boy. Oh man, the things we've learned.
Right. Yes.
I guess so.
We are talking to you guys from a place of we know.
Right. Been
Yeah, I know
there.
how it
Probably
was.
shouldn't have been there, but you know.
Yeah.
We're here to teach everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. Just, use your best judgment when it comes to people online because online
Yes.
friendships can be really awesome, but
Yes.
also they can be kind of dangerous sometimes if you're
Yeah.
talking to the wrong person.
Mhm.
And avoid chat roulette. I don't even think
Yeah, all those
anymore.
crazy chats.
Oh, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Fair.
Oh, Ashley, do you want to put your resource too? I know she made one also.
Oh yeah, I'll link it.
We need all the internet safety we can.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you do feel threatened or feel uncomfortable or anything, you
Mhm.
contact your parents, a trusted individual, counselor, authorities. Also, I believe, what is it, National Children's for Exploitation and something.
Oh,
I have it linked in the document. You can also
Cool.
file a report to them for any type of exploitative.
Yeah, and it's important too that, you know, if you do feel uncomfortable online, and someone's like talking to you in a way that doesn't feel right, like know that, like, because I've had this happen to me, and like sometimes you can feel a little bit embarrassed, like maybe it was your fault. It's not your fault. Talk to an adult immediately.
Yes.
Like don't be too embarrassed to keep this to yourself. Like this happens regularly. This isn't your fault at all.
no, yeah. Lots
Very
of
important,
always
yes.
cyberbullying and everything.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah, stay safe.
All right. Should we move on to question three?
Yes. Hopefully it's not as dark.
Yeah. We'll find out more secrets from our middle school days.
Right.
So question 3 is about Roller Girl. So Roller Girl follows Astrid as she learns the sport of roller derby, makes new friends, and experiences growing apart from her best friend. Astrid is new to roller derby and is not as good as the other girls in the camp. When the opportunity to compete in a bout is given to the girls in the camp, Astrid's coach tells Astrid that she will not be able to participate if the coaches do not think she has progressed enough to be safe. Astrid decides she wants to be a jammer and trains very hard for this opportunity by staying after practice, foregoing break with the team to practice more, and training at home on the weekends. Astrid's hard work pays off and she's able to participate in the bout, but not as a jammer. Her coach tells her, Astrid, I know you wanted to jam in this bout and you'll get there, but we need you to work on your teamwork for now. Astrid was so focused on her own individual improvement that she neglected to form relationships with her teammates. Have you ever participated on any type of team? How do you think the relationships among team members can impact the team? For instance, have you ever participated on a team that is impacted by a disagreement or people who just do not like each other? How did the team work it out?
I did sports when I was very little. I don't remember a lot of it.
I know, right?
Well, so I'm thinking kind of like, because I'm not an athletic person, I'm not a sports person, and when I used to do gymnastics, I'm like an individual sports person, you know. But I kind of think of it like there's different kinds of teams, you know, like
Yeah.
I've had a lot of like group projects in school.
That was my first thought, group projects.
Like I'm more
That's
like
a fair point.
a team person, I guess.
You see, my first thought was because we're talking about roller derby.
Yeah,
I was like, what sports did I do?
I know, right?
I mean, I played soccer when I was a kid and I wasn't very good at it. And that was
Same.
definitely, and I was actually like actively very bad at it. And that
I feel that.
impacted the team because like I didn't want to play and they didn't want me to play, but it was like one of those things where, like everyone had to play. So I had to play even though I didn't want to play, you know. We didn't win very many games.
Yeah.
I did cheerleading, softball, and gymnastics. And I always feel like there was another one and I don't know what it was. I just blocked it all out.
Right.
Fair.
But since you guys mentioned team projects and classroom homework things, I always hated doing group projects. I don't know how I always got stuck with a group that I was the only one who did the work.
Oh man.
Even during my master's degree.
Really?
Yes, it was terrible.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It was
right. That's really rough.
I was like, y'all, we are too old to be doing this.
Okay.
And then you know what? I did all the research. I wrote the paper and I made the PowerPoint and I did the voiceover for the PowerPoint. And then they got mad because they didn't like it. Oh,
Beggars
did
can't
you
be
email?
choosers.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I personally have felt like when I was an undergraduate, and when I was in high school and middle school, I was like always the person to like lead the team or, like do all the work, I guess, because like, first of all, no one else wanted to do it. That's important. But
Mhm.
also I always took my grades very, very seriously,
Yeah.
whereas usually the other people in my group didn't.
Mm.
So I didn't necessarily want them to be in charge, which was fine because they didn't want to do it.
Right.
But then working on my master's, I feel like had some really fantastic group projects, like
Lucky.
where everyone is like on the same page, like we meet once a week to talk about the project, everyone has a role, like but I definitely also think that there's like, even on those like good team projects, there have been issues, like I guess between like team members that have definitely affected the group, and it's always like something small or petty, but
Mm.
like someone in the team feels like someone else doesn't like them.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, and so
It happens.
yeah.
and even though it's like an academic thing, it's not a social thing.
Right.
It's still it's still like a thing that you kind of have to deal with and just kind of like push through.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how I've always dealt with it. It's just kind of like, all right, well, we still have to get this done.
You're right. Yeah.
Not the right way, but
I always like think they should make group projects kind of trying to like match personalities and work ethic that may resolve all the issues going on with that, because it's always like so staggered. Then again, you should be exposed to people who are different than you. So I'm like kind of like back and forth, like how do you resolve
Yeah.
that?
I definitely get that. And I think that because I like when, especially with online classes, which I'm sure a lot of our viewers are going through right now,
Right.
because my master's degree is completely online. Oftentimes they'll have us like post on a discussion board looking
God,
for
yeah.
other group members. And so I found that like if I post it like the Friday before classes even start, I'm going to find people who are like me, who are
Very smart.
who
Yeah.
are just overachievers, want to get everything done really, really before deadlines,
True that.
That's smart. Why did I not think of that? Because my entire master's
All
degree was
right.
online too.
Yeah. I don't know. I did it by accident in the first class, and then I was like, whoa, this worked out really well. I'm gonna keep doing this.
See, it's always great. You stumble upon like miracle solution right there.
Yeah. But I mean, also it seems like this book is more about like fixing relationships. I don't know. I guess I can't really speak to this because I am not a sport team person.
Yeah.
Ashley, have you ever experienced this with sports?
Right.
Not with sports. I'm not an athletic person at all.
We
But
are
actually-
not sports people.
No.
Yeah, no.
But last semester, I actually had a group project where usually I had good luck, but for the first time, I had someone that just did not want to participate at all. And we ended up being one of the smaller groups. So the other girl and I had to like basically pull the whole project, and we ended up with tons more work. So that was definitely really frustrating. How I dealt with it, it kind of just, like Erin was talking about, you have to do it. Like, might as well just put up with it. And if it comes down to like individual grading, I reached out to my professor and talked to her about it. But other than that, there's not really much you can do, is there?
Oh yeah, always write it in the notes. How did your group project work out? Well, let me tell
Right,
you.
yeah.
Exactly.
Where do I start?
This was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Right.
Man. Group project sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can be good or bad, I've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It's it's gonna be like that whether you're very small or very old. There's always group
Right.
projects, and there's always people that will work their hardest, and others that are just like, I'm here for the grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
There's no like great way to deal with that, I guess, but I mean,
Yeah,
I like,
because
it's kind of nice because you can like you get to work with like different types of people, different work,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
like when you're working like in a job, like you're always going to come across people who aren't like you, who have different work ethics, and so it really is like great
so true.
like practice for like that sort of thing
yeah,
you'll probably do in
Yeah.
the future, even if like it's not the best time, you know.
Right.
yeah.
My grade doesn't depend on it or anything, but okay.
I'm grading myself in my heart.
Yes.
Right. I know deep down I'm great.
Mhm.
This is an A+ for me.
Exactly.
There's
I have a 4.0 in life.
Right.
why not?
Exactly.
This totally reminds me of the Simpsons, where they Bart and Lisa get what was it? The school was on strike or something, and Lisa was freaking out. She's like, "Grade me! I need to know what my grade is."
Oh man.
Yes.
And then like Marge gives her like an A+, and Lisa's like, "Oh, thank goodness. Okay, I'm doing okay."
Oh my gosh. That's like a flashback to my high school self, I feel like. Like
Me too.
Right.
that's
Oh.
exactly how I would have reacted.
Would too.
Oh Lord.
Y'all, Simpsons is my like obsession.
I love that.
I made this the other day.
Oh, nice.
All right. Should we hit our next question?
Yeah.
Making friends. What we're doing right now.
There we go.
This is really cute, right? So in making friends, Dandy started great. Danny is finding middle school difficult socially. Totally agree. Totally feel that. 6th grade was so much easier. All her friends were in the same room and she knew exactly what to expect out of life. Now that she's in 7th grade, she's in a different middle school. Her friends are in different classes and forming new cliques, and she's totally and completely lost. What she really needs is a new best friend. So when Danny inherits a magic sketchbook from her great aunt where anything she sketches comes to life, she draws Madison, the most amazing and awesome best friend ever. The thing is, even when you create a best friend, there's no guarantee they'll always be your best friend, especially when Madison realizes she was made with magic and starts hanging out with the popular crowd. What I would not give for a magic sketchbook. Fabulous. So, do popularity and friendship always go together? Why or why not? What do you think most people would want? Popularity and lots of friends, or no popularity and a couple of close friends? I would go with close friends and no popularity, hands down. That's always my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of. Yeah.
I think with popularity, I noticed this a lot in school, is that if something happens to like the head person in that group, a lot of the times they turn on them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then like people fight for dominance over who the next head of the group is.
Right.
Yeah, I never really understood like the popularity, because I guess like I don't know, because like I grew up watching teen movies, I guess, just lots of John Hughes. I guess I expected popularity to like look different than it actually did when I was in high school, and like I knew that they were popular kids, you know, like I knew who they were and everything, but it always just kind of seemed like they were popular because they said they were popular. Does that make sense? Like,
Love that.
Really,
That's
like,
bad.
I mean, if it works, it works, you know, like I don't know, like if you just like have that confidence or something, but I just never really got it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that now. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm popular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so everybody knows.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a really hard time in middle school too for a
Mhm.
million reasons.
Yeah.
One of which being that middle school is tough.
Yeah.
But
Nope. Agreed.
all of so in elementary school, all the kids were zoned for golf, but I was in a weird neighborhood that was zoned for Chasco, and only like 6 kids from my middle school or from my elementary school ended up going to middle school with me.
Oh,
And all the kids who went to Chasco had gone to Calusa Elementary. So I kind of had like a disadvantage going in because everyone there already knew each other and I didn't know anyone,
Man.
and I was bad at making friends.
That's
So
similar.
definitely feel that. Like I sat alone at lunch for
oh.
I mean, it was fine. Like I would just read,
Mhm.
draw, or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. Like what helped me was like a very social, outgoing person like took me under their wing and like made friends with me, I guess. Like just like sat with me at lunch. But yeah, I definitely feel the middle school struggle.
Oh,
Yeah, so like I've lived overseas, so that's where I spent most of like my elementary, if you will, and we moved like every 3 years. So I was in different pre-Ks and all of that, like in the different countries, because my dad was military. Then we came back and we lived in North Carolina. So I went to an elementary school and finished out elementary there. And then we moved to Florida. And so by the time we moved to Florida, I'm in 7th grade. So like I jump around schools a lot. So I can feel the whole like, oh, who is this? So I had to become like adaptable somehow. But weirdly enough, middle school was like peak for me for some reason. Like it was so fun. And in high school, it was just like, okay, yeah. It's weird that zoning thing happened. So like some of my friends went to my high school and then some went to like this other high school that was like down the street from us, and they were like kind of a richer high school too. It was just like, it's so strange. It's so strange.
Mine was so weird. Okay. I always lived in Pinellas County. And every time people talking about zoning, I think it's so funny because we had the zoning, but you had the option of choosing your top 3 schools.
Oh.
And so if one school was full, you would get your next school. So middle school, I went to they had just started this fundamental program. So we were learning high school things and crying every night because I was doing math homework until midnight. Because it was terrible. Yeah. So, but anyway, I went to a Catholic school until 4th grade. 5th grade, I went to a private public school, and I knew nobody there. I went to the fundamental middle school. None of my friends went there, so I didn't know anybody. So I made friends those 3 years. Then when I got to high school, nobody I knew from middle school went to my high school.
Oh my goodness.
So I was always going to different schools.
I feel that.
That's what happened to me too, because I was in a weird zoning area. So I like went to my elementary school. They all went to golf, but then I went to golf high. So see, everyone from my elementary school had still been all together, you know, and then everyone from my middle school went to Ridgewood, and it was like I had to start over every single time, and that's
crazy.
I just wasn't that type of person back then. I probably would be now, but Natalia, did you find that there were any like differences between like public and private school in terms of like popular people, like?
Ooh, popular kids. See, it was so weird because for my Catholic school, I always had the same class. So we all went to like 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade.
Oh, okay.
And
like,
then
the same people? Yeah,
it was always the same people. It was like every so often we would get a new student, and it was very rare. But sometimes it would be like in the middle, like it would be like 3rd grade, and I've known everybody since kindergarten, and then we've got this new kid. Like, who is this?
Oh wow.
So it's different, and it was just like our class just basically stayed together,
Okay.
And then when I got to public school, so like that 5th grade, it was okay. The school was already a whole difference. It was like crazy children, like all over the place. Like
Oh
we
yeah.
didn't care. And I went from like nuns and strictness to yay, let's do this.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
And then my middle school was the exact same way as private school, where I had the same classes with everybody.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, so our fundamental program, so you would stay with the same group unless you got, what is it? I think it was like 10 demerits, and it could be for anything stupid like forgetting your parent to sign, for not getting your parent to sign your planner for the day.
oh.
Really stupid things. And if you got 10, I think it was like you got 8, you were on probation. If you got 10, you get kicked out of the program.
Oh my gosh.
Now imagine
Jeez.
that as like a 12-year-old, 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have been so anxious about that constantly.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That was a stressful 3 years. So when I went to high school, I was like, no, I don't want to do this again. Because I almost went to another school that was doing that.
Okay.
Which is where all my friends went. So but yeah, it's so different. And then
Yeah.
like middle school, it was between 2 groups. It was like the goth kids were the popular kids.
Mm.
Very different because
Huh.
everybody fought over this one tree.
I
And I
love
don't know why.
it was the tree, man.
It was
Yeah.
a tree. It was, I don't know, for the longest time I knew it as the goth tree.
We had a goth tree at my high school.
Really?
What is the goth
Oh
tree?
my gosh.
Like the tree that all the goth kids
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
think
I love this.
everyone needs a tree. I don't know.
Yeah, right?
It's funny that you say that because that just brought that back for me.
I love it. I
This
always
is
thought it was just my
incredible.
school. I'm like, what is this?
No, we had a goth
Love
tree
it.
as well.
Wow.
Oh man.
Did you prefer private or public school?
Over the years, I actually preferred private school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually liked it a lot more. I don't know if I think it was the structure I liked more, because the more I went to some of my teachers were just, oi, real how did you get a teaching degree? How are you here? So
Familiar.
yeah, no, it was almost always a mess. I don't know if I just got teachers that were always off their rocker or what, but I don't know. Sometimes I wish I would have stayed in private school for something.
It
I don't
sounds
know. Yeah.
like maybe like
Yeah.
making friends and like staying friends with people might have been a little easier if you just continue to do that, right? Or like maybe it's harder because if you like make someone mad and you probably make everyone mad. Like
True. That's true. You know what's even funnier is this is so weird that it was just ironically happening. I had a friend in private school. So like 4th grade was the last time I saw her. She was in my band class in 9th grade.
aw.
It was so funny. I was like, oh, I know her name. I think that's her. I was like, hey,
Right.
hey, did you go to this school? And she was like,
Right.
yeah. I've got like bleach blonde hair.
Aw.
She's like, yeah.
Love that.
Natalia.
That's
Yeah,
really cute.
She
Right?
remembered me as the kid who stuck a paper clip in my ear.
Oh my goodness.
I was bored. I was like, I had my ear pierced, so I was like, I just hung it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Why not? You know? And
Right?
Yep.
it's
That's how
not
she remembered me.
that you like
Yeah.
there's always like some way that like people remember you and you like always remember them for something weird too and like
Like, oh, you did that thing.
yeah.
You're like, I've been trying to forget that one.
Right. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yep.
Oh. Like my friend saying her favorite memory of us hanging out in high school was the time I tried to jump the lunch line and I fell.
Oh
I went
Oh my
over the
God.
bar and I went, boom.
Ooh.
Oh man. Oh, I would love to know what people remember about me from back in the day.
Right.
Right?
I don't know a whole lot of people from my school days anymore, but
I don't either.
next time I talk to anyone, I'll have to ask
Right.
them.
Yeah.
And bring it back to the club. We need to know.
Yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, I know. It's probably something weird, you know, or like I don't know. It's probably something like I had like a dashboard confessional wall in my room, you know, like things like that. Like I was just kind of like an obsessionist about music and dashboard confessional in particular.
See, look, you know, paperclip earrings.
Yeah.
And, you know, dashboard confessional. That's like the
Yeah.
epitome of like school life.
Yeah, it really is. It's one of those things that when I listen to them now, I'm just like instantly brought back.
Right?
Oh my God. Like I remember how it felt to feel these feelings and like it's so raw that it's like almost embarrassing to feel that. You know? Crazy.
Isn't that so funny how music can do that to you?
Yeah, really
like-
can too. Like it just transports you back to
it
being that awkward sixth grader who
Oh
didn't.
man, that
Oh,
first time.
man.
Oh my God, there was like my birthday one year. My uncle bought me Green Day's American Idiot, and it was like the coolest thing ever. And I played it on my CD player on repeat.
Love that.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
my goth cool kid face.
Yeah.
And my
Or
mom's like, turn this off.
I love that. Or even before that, in like early elementary school, like kindergarten and first grade, when my sister and I still went to the same school, we'd sit in the same seat on the bus and like sing Britney Spears together.
I love that.
Uh,
That's too cute.
Oh.
yeah.
I have something to add to that. Okay, like private school. Catholic school, what was it? Talent show. Oops, I did it again.
Yes. Here,
Yes.
Dancing and singing to it. My teachers had a heart attack because I had one of those like slight belly shirts, like the smallest amount of skin showing. Everybody had a heart attack.
Oh my God. I love that so much.
There's a video of it somewhere. I know my dad still has
It's got to
it.
be somewhere in the archives.
I know my sister did, she sang Britney Spears' Lucky for the talent show.
Oh,
She and her friends, they taught me, they had a whole dance to it. And then I did Proud to be an American in 2001 because everyone was doing that. But I didn't actually make the talent show because everyone tried out with Proud to be an American.
Oh no.
12 kids up there singing the same song, like one after the other.
You should make like a chorus for you guys.
Yes. All together.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly, that probably would have been like the better call because like I think they still let like two different groups of kids come up and sing Proud to be an American, which honestly, if I was like in the audience, I would be like, we're doing this again, you know, like
Yeah.
you got to choose a different song at some point.
Sure.
Man.
It's just huge that year, so it's hard.
It was.
Yeah, man.
Good times.
Good times, good times.
I was just remembering the first time I heard about 9/11. It was like right over the speakers.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, it was so weird. I remember being in 3rd grade or 4th grade. I remember the teacher. I don't remember what class she taught, but it was like gloomy outside. I remember the lights were down. I don't know if we were watching something, and then my teacher stopped and the announcement came on that it had happened, and they played God Bless the USA over the speaker, and it was just the most melancholy thing, and it gives me goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah, same.
Right? I just remember coming home and my parents have it on. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at too.
Yeah.
I was in like 1st grade too, so I was like,
Mhm.
you know, I got picked up from school, but
Yeah. Ooh, dark.
Craziness. Yeah.
Right.
And it's coming up. Oh my God, it's the 20th anniversary.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's right.
All right.
Let's end it on a happier note. What is it? Next week, we are doing open when letters, which I'm super excited about because I love doing these. So you can write letters to your future self for like when you're having a bad day, you need someone just to tell you, hey, it's going to get better, or here's a funny joke. I should print out that joke. There's a joke I love. It's a little comic strip of like skeletons. And he's like, do you want to hear a joke? And the other guy's like, no. And he goes, is it humorous? And I love it. I'll find it and I'll send it to everybody.
Oh my
Please
gosh.
do.
So you're saying that my whole open when letter can just be like jokes that I like?
Do it.
Right?
That's like a
Like
really
a meme
good-
profile?
Like I can't
Absolutely.
like I'm having a bad day in the future. I'm like, okay, I'll open it now. And it's just a bunch of like dad jokes. And
Yes.
Wow.
that would make me so happy.
Oh my God. Oh, you just inspired me. One of my letters, my dad likes to do this. He'll call me. He's been doing it since I was little. Every so often. And now he just like calls me on the phone and says it. He'll go, what would you be doing if I didn't call you? I'm
Aw,
gonna put that in a letter. And
Aw,
then he hangs
that's
up.
so cute.
I'm gonna open a letter that says, what would you be doing right now if you didn't open this?
Aw,
I love that.
I'm doing it.
that's so
I
cute.
so decree.
I'm here for it. I think that's like
Right?
such a great way to improve your future self's life, honestly.
Yes.
Everybody needs a dad. I did a dad joke the other day and I realized I'm getting old.
I'm getting home.
I did the someone said, oh, they're tired. I was like, hi, tired, I'm dad.
Oh my gosh.
I went,
Oh
y'all.
no. You're
Did you tell your
evolving to
dad?
dad jokes.
I have become that